let's talk about the state of the DCU and the state of the MCU. A couple of the biggest things happening in movies right now, and they both underwent pretty swift reboots after, years of sort of middling projects. The MCU is trying to turn over a new leaf with Fantastic Four, and Superman is the start of James Gunn's heralding of DC properties. Given what we've seen between those two movies, and you can take in other factors like Thunderbolts earlier this year into account, Art, do you think Marvel or DC is the healthier superhero universe right now?
Marvel. Well, just because that's like Netflix. Netflix is always going to have the heads up on having their series and everything running. I think even with the fresher start DC has, it's still on Marvel. No one's going to compete with those Doomsday numbers.
Amanda, do you agree?
No. Maybe the numbers do better for Marvel, but I think that DC's actually just flipped. I think they've flipped places. I think that all the complaints that people had about DC for years is what Marvel's doing right now, trying to make people care about things without doing the work to make us care about them. And DC's actually seems to be putting in the work to make us care about these characters. So at least from a story standpoint, I'm more excited.
Thunderbolts.
Yeah, Thunderbolts is great. But that's one thing, and it didn't do well for them. So if it didn't do well for them, they're not going to do more stuff like that. They're gonna learn all the wrong lessons of what they're doing. Fantastic Four did well purely because it's Fantastic Four. It didn't do well because people feel like they have to see it to follow along with something.
I think I'll split the difference between your two takes, because I think Marvel is probably in the healthier place right now, given the extreme depth of roster they have to pull from, right? They have all these different superheroes that have been established in properties like Thunderbolts and now Fantastic Four. They're going to bring back Shang-Chi and Doctor Strange and Thor. And
if they get that going, it'll be good.
If they ever finish the Doomsday script, if they ever finish the Doomsday script, it'll be a big deal. But they when they have Avengers Doomsday in their pocket, they know they have a big property that lots of people will show up for and will care about. But I do think the place that DC is in right now is maybe on a better trajectory than the MCU. I think DCU is on the rise, and there's a excitement around it right now because people, I think, generally really responded to that Batman movie, and supposedly Matt Reeves has delivered a script for the Batman 2. Generally, I think people are liking this Superman movie, and we've already got a Supergirl movie in the works. I think it's already been shot, actually, coming out next year, starring Millie Aycock.
That's got me interested. That's a good director.
Right? Another very interesting director to attach to that. I think there's just sort of a optimism or a hopefulness that I have in regards to DC's upcoming projects that I don't necessarily have with Marvel's. And while I'll definitely show up for Avengers Doomsday, I just don't really have any idea what I'll get in terms of quality.
I agree, because Gunn's already admitted that he'll cancel projects that are in development if the script just can't get where he thinks is good enough. And maybe that seems shitty, that it's he's only going to greenlight his own projects. But no, if he's genuinely, Kevin Feige will not do that at this point. He'd be like, fuck, when didn't Fantastic Four finish shooting, really not that long ago? Wasn't it very recently that Fantastic Four finished shooting, and it's already out?
I'm sure they at least did reshoots in the relative recent.
All of them. When was the last time you filmed? 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Marvel's got them working until the DVD comes out.
We actually didn't even get into the end credit scenes for Fantastic Four, but those were apparently shot by the Russos, not by Matt Shankman.
Yeah, that was the Thunderbolts one too, right? Was also the Russos.
Shot by the Russos, right?
Isn't that so funny? You're working on a baby, and then these two guys come in. Ours now.
Now. Wait 1 second. We have to go ruin somebody's comic book with the Electric State. We'll be back.
Given the announced project so far, DC, as we mentioned, they have the Supergirl movie coming next year. They also have apparently a Clayface movie coming soon, which is supposed to be a more modest budget, like 40-50 million, and more horror tinged, which personally I find pretty exciting.
Yes, that's the one that we're talking about here. The question you had asked is, who do you think's the most prepared? I think Marvel by default just because of what they have. The fact that they're not even finishing scripts shows you it's ugly. I agree with you guys. They're so ahead of it that's how they're playing the game. But DC, if they're able to really do this thing that he's saying of somehow letting different projects mesh, he said he's gonna make Clayface a straight horror movie. I would like to see it.
Yeah, because
I would
they
like
wanted,
to see it, sir. That would be great.
It was supposed to be Mike Flanagan.
Bro, please pull through with that.
You know, like
he got out though, no?
Yeah, because he started doing like a bunch of shit with like Carrie and other Stephen King stuff, but I don't think it was because of the quality of the project. I think it was just because he had he likes playing with Stephen King and now he can. Yeah. So
I do worry if you do that, it is going to be, I don't know, like A24-ish. You will have some big ones, but most of your projects are not going to hit because of the different tones in it. But that would make DCU so worth it, in my opinion. And again, this whole Elseworld thing, because you're counting the Batman as a part of DCU. Do more of that. I want to see more just... You know, it doesn't have to be Joker, but Joker made a lot of money.
Yeah, it was literally that whole debate that when he pitched Joker, he had pitched it as like a DC Black Label, where you would just take these villains and do different things. They would do different things with them, except then Joker ended up doing so well that instead of letting him do that, they were just like, do another one of these. They didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
So they just don't know what they're doing.
How is WB that bad that they had DC Label less time that they had HBO Max and Max?
Man.
And I'm back to HBO Max.
They got to replace David Zaslav. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I mean, are you also excited about that Supergirl movie? We got a little bit of the character towards the end of the Superman movie we didn't mention, but I really liked Millie Aycock. I think we all did on House of the Dragon.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's going to be an interesting take on the character. I'm down for that.
Yeah. I mean, I liked the kind of anarchy she brings towards the end of that film. So it might be fun. You know, there's the whole thing about kindness is the new punk rock being Superman's sort of slogan, but it does feel like a Supergirl movie might be actually a little more punk rock than this one.
Rock. Yeah.
Switching though to the Marvel slate, Marvel doesn't have another movie coming out until July of next year, when Spider-Man Brand New Day is currently set to come out July 31st. That one is currently being directed by Destin Daniel Cretton. And then Avengers Doomsday is currently slated for December 18th, 2026. Again, that movie is not done with its script, apparently, although that's not stopping them from shooting some stuff. How do you feel about Marvel's upcoming slate of films, Amanda?
What slate, Zach?
Yeah, what slate? I was also one of the
that Blade movie does not seem like it's happening anytime soon.
Sold off a bunch of their costumes.
There's a rumored X-Men film coming, TBD, Black Panther 3, maybe Armor Wars, maybe Shang-Chi sequel, maybe.
The only thing that has me kind of hoping that X-Men is going to end up being good is because it's being directed by the guy who did Thunderbolts. So I'm like, okay, maybe this guy can actually pull it off. Because seeing Fantastic Four has me terrified for the X-Men. I love the X-Men. I was also one of the people who did not love the last Spider-Man movie very much because I felt like once they realized they could get all three of them, they didn't care about anything else. The story didn't matter anymore. Who cares what happens because we got all three of them. So I did not love it as much as everyone else did. I was very disappointed.
You see those superhero YouTube channels years away from No Way Home, re-review it and go, were we off? And it's like a really adorable revelation that a lot of people realize. That it begins, it's like, wait, this isn't as good as I remember it.
Clouded by nostalgia?
Yeah.
And then they end every video by going, well, it was really the times that we made along the way and the friends and everything. And then they just settle down. I'm not even kidding. I'm only bringing this up because I saw people do it, but then I saw people do it again. And it's like, wait, you re-reviewing the re-review?
Yeah.
What is... And they just created a secondary market.
It's crazy.
But that happens for a lot of Marvel.
Yeah, so I am actually kind of not... I'm nervous for the next Spider-Man. I hope it's good because I really loved Homecoming so much.
Does it need to connect? Because it sounds like that's their big push now. That it's actually going to be your neighborhood Spider-Man. But we're all dealing with a doomsday prep.
I'm good with that. Because
I feel like that might be the disconnect, is being too grounded when we're about to go intergalactic.
I don't care. Let his movies be more grounded, and then once he gets pulled into the other stuff, it gets bigger. Because it starts not making sense when every single person has their own, universe-destroying problem, and no one else pops up to help.
Right. I mean, that's the thing, is that ultimately, it's hard to have all these different characters exist in different tonal universes and then also try to continue those tones when they team up. I personally just don't mind. I think these characters are all pretty flexible, and that when you drop Spider-Man into an Avengers situation, he can act that way, and when you drop him back into Queens, he can act like a kid from Queens. It doesn't bother me, but I know there are people who are like, well, you know, how would he react that way when he's already been to outer space and stuff like that. These two movies that do have dates on the calendar are pretty much guaranteed to be gigantic hits, whether or not people really enjoy them. But how confident are you in them as successes creatively? Because I personally have enjoyed all the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies at least a little. I don't think No Way Home is good, but
it has moments.
Yeah. And the Russos, like their cinematic track record, pretty spotty, but their best work has been guiding the Avengers.
Yeah, with the Avengers, I don't know, specifically.
Like it just. I feel like these characters are fairly reliable, but when they go in this sort of fly-by-night method, I don't know. I'm a little bit skeptical about these movies, and if these movies don't hit, then what will happen to the hunger for MCU films?
That is fair.
They'll hit, bro. These guys, think of... You like the Endgame cameos?
Yeah. But Endgame built to it.
I think
Deadpool, Wolverine
for me
cameos.
No, actually.
No.
So the fact that they made in the shittiest cameos more money, they'll be able to do anything. Because that's my biggest worry with that table, hour-long, or the rows of chairs that they did for the cast.
Oh yeah,
it does feel like it's going to be a mumbo jumbo. And then I realize, well, they have done that. So they either somehow crack it, and even if they don't, people still salivate over it. So.
But I do think there is a point at which we have diminishing returns with that. I mean, we're already scraping the cupboards dry of Fox X-Men characters to bring back. I mean, you know, I think ultimately what might happen is if these movies are not super, super successful and launch a new wave of MCU heroes off the back of them, that, you know, Kevin Feige has alluded to the idea of recasting roles like Iron Man and Captain America. And we might see a little bit more of a hard reboot just to bring us back to the characters that people know and love.
But it's also just, you got to admit that some of that isn't the characters, it's the people playing them. It's why, look who's Doctor Doom. Look who's Doctor Doom. They just can't let go of anything.
That's interesting because we're in free agency market right now in baseball. So it's everyone trying to pick up somebody for a year. And Doom being, what's his name? Feels
Robert
like
Downey.
a last minute, like, we're not going to be able to run you this entire time, but we needed to call an audible.
Yeah.
What Zach's mentioning with the reboot is he wants to go young. He wants to not have to pay these people like they're doing the Harry Potter kids right now.
Of course, yeah.
Right.
But then, like Amanda's saying, you have to reinvest all this energy and time into new characters. But because they're old characters, are you going to skip the origin stories again? It's going to be very confusing, but...
Yeah.
Hey, I say jump the shark. Marvel DC, just do it. You got a guy on the inside over there. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I am sure it's going to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen, but at some point...
But they're going to do something dumb, right? It's the last thing.
Like we saw with the response to Thunderbolts, like that movie didn't make as much money as they want an MCU movie to make. And there might be a day where these movies start to have more and more diminishing returns. The second they do a Marvel versus DC movie, you know that movie's going to be top of the box office. It's just a matter of like, do they think they have other paths, and once they stop having other paths, they'll definitely go to each other. I think that's an inevitability.
It's worse for DC because they're just starting.
They're just starting. I think the thing is that like we saw it with this last round of Marvel. I think they hit the point where they didn't think they could lose, and that's why immediately after Endgame they were like, we're doing like 20 television shows, 20 movies. It's like
they did do a lot.
Yeah, and a lot of them just ended up getting cut. They didn't happen, or they saved them. Like Ironheart finished filming 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Like a long time ago, and it just came out. They saw the strikes coming, and they're like, let's just pocket this stuff. And then they realized, okay, we can't actually just introduce anyone and say they're important and have people rally behind them and care, because we're not actually putting in the work to make anyone care.
Let's make stuff and wait 2 years after they're not relevant for the moment that we made the shows and stuff.
It's like, it's just weird. So I feel like they kind of hit a point where they thought they couldn't fail, and then they started to fail, and now they're scrambling to try to figure out how to get out of the pit.
Yeah.
They've stopped a lot of their production across the board because of that. Obviously, it'll start picking up now that they're like, okay, well, we still have Thor. We still have Spider-Man. Even though Tom Holland says he wants a break, we can bully him. We can bully him with contracts and the Disney power.
Nah, bro, they bullied him and made sure his other movies suck. Like, that's got to be the conspiracy at this point, bro. That many misses.
He's got a bad agent.
Someone had you.
They paid the Russos to make sure Cherry was bad.
Make Turk bad.
I would have believed that if every movie outside the MCU that the Russos do wasn't like, if that wasn't one of the highlights.
No, they got them too, bro. They keep ruining the Russos' movies.
It's true.
Hey, look, I got the fix. A little K-pop. Make it all K-pop. MCU K-pop, we're set. Number 1 movie.
You're right.
We got to bring the Demon Hunters into the MCU. That'll solve it.
That'll do it. They could fit in with Eternals. I can see it.
Art, which movie had the better mid-credit and end-credit scenes? Fantastic Four or Superman? Taking it very seriously. I appreciate it.
Superman.
Well,
because Superman's is the cut thing.
Right.
But the other one was the TV.
Well, like, is it because Superman actually, there's a joke in it and it's not just a tease for more movies?
That too, yeah. It's actually a character moment, and I get to see the character, not the mask.
Right? Yeah. What do we think the odds are that was actually Robert Downey Jr. on set that day?
Okay.
100 to 1?
Right. So mine was completely 0, but they asked Matt Shackman like really fast. They're like, and that was, what's his name? It was this, right? Yeah, it was the Russos, right? And it was him, right? And he goes, yeah. His, yeah. I was like, whoa, they can just lie now. Yeah. They can really just straight up lie. Okay. No, he goes, yeah.
That's so fucking funny.
And he has not been asked it anywhere else that I've seen yet. I'm like, you lied through your teeth, bro.
Yeah,
I did not pay for Robert Downey Jr.
You
to
did
sit
not
one day with a kid.
to not have
Absolutely
his face
not.
on screen. I do have a wondering question, though, about
Was
that.
Franklin there? He wasn't either.
Oh, my God, no. I want to know, is this universe's Doctor Doom actually Tony Stark? Is that actually Tony Stark in the mask, and he's just not Victor Von Doom, and he just picked the name Doctor Doom for a totally different reason?
You heard I think this was they were rewriting, that he is lineage from another dimension to the Starks.
Oh, my God.
I don't want it to be that.
I mean, it's an
and then they're
interesting
going to bring
idea.
Jon Snow from fucking Eternals, and then that'll complete it.
Bro, Zach, I heard them say he was going to pull a... Dr. Doom realizes he looks like him over here and goes, wait, I know how to mess with them. And he pulls a Julia Roberts Ocean's 12. You know exactly what I'm talking about, bro.
That's funny. That's funny. What?
I mean, it could be funny, but I don't know, man.
The day they leaked that, they started rewriting the script. I'm not even kidding.
Oh, that's funny. That's so bad. It's so funny.
It's so bad, right? I
don't know
why they do this.
Yeah, that'd be quite bold, but
they just need to settle in with a Martha, and I think they're good, bro. Just figure out who's Martha.
Yeah,
we have enough characters. Someone's bound to be it.
Oh fuck, that's so funny.
All right. So, however they decide to integrate Robert Downey Jr. back into the fold, we will be there. We'll be watching. We're showing up for the rest of these DCU Marvel movies, no matter where they go. I think that's about it for Superhero Corner on the podcast, unless anybody's got any straggling thoughts they want to get out.
No.
All right.
You know, the 1994 Fantastic Four film.
Oh, Amanda, did you actually dislike the Fantastic Four more than the previous iterations of it? Or is this the best version still?
Whoa. Wait, I'm
sorry, I haven't watched the 2004 one since, or 2005 one since, like, I was in high school. But I have fonder memories of it. I liked it more at the time. My experience with those movies was better than this. Fantastic. I at least think it tried to do something different, so I'll have to give it that. But no, it's worse. That one's absolutely worse. But I don't know. I would, if someone was like, you have to fucking watch a movie in theaters right now, and it's either the 2005 Fantastic Four or this, I would pick 2005 every day of the week. I don't want to watch this movie again. I had to watch it a second time for a video. I don't think I ever want to watch this movie again. And it's not bad. I just don't care. I just don't care.
All right, well, we'll be talking about 2005 movies not so far in the future of this podcast. We'll see if that Fantastic Four movie makes an appearance on that video.